Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Awesome day. Uh, yeah, we are on for the match review. How are we feeling? How was your day so far? How was it? Did you enjoy the game? Are you happy with another trophy being added? Probably it's going to be used as a deco at the new Carrington training grounds. Yeah, so today we are going to have a look at the match review, as well as some other news making rounds online on social media, as well in the mainstream media. We have a bit of a split among the fans. Some are saying the game was good, others are saying that the game was bad. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. In case you're joining on TikTok, on X, on YouTube, karibuni sana. Welcome. Let's get the show started. Yeah, Manchester United won, Fiorentina won. It was somewhat of a good game. A lot of things that went on in the game. We had players that were not quite doing well. Probably they were a bit slow starting the first half. We struggled a bit starting the half, but after we conceded, we picked up our pace a little bit, and things were going on well. Cunha played well, Mbuma played well. He's not fully fit, but at least we could see that he was making runs. He was making sure that he's always available. But what I was not quite impressed with between Mbumo and Ahmad, it's they were getting in each other's way. From time to time, we saw that they were getting in each other's way, and yeah, it made play difficult. Mbumo likes playing wide. Ahmad likes dribbling, going wide, then cutting in. But it's a relationship that is starting. We need to see it grow, as well as see other players coming in and doing their best. Cunha had a good game. Quite sad or unfortunate that he didn't get that goal. A good cutback from Bruno Fernandes, but unfortunately, there was a big block. David De Gea was back at Old Trafford. He got a hero's welcome. Finally, he gets the send off that he deserved. He did not leave well. We did not give him a send off when he left 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure some fans are regretting why we let him go. He put up a very stellar performance. He was saving goals. The proper Dave saves. Dave could have saved the Titanic. Dave can save a failing marriage. Yeah, so it was a good game. First half was quite slow. We started slow. The play was slow. I was not impressed with how we started the game. We were slow off the mark, slow to get to the press. Some players were pressing, others were not. We were slow to get to the second balls. And I think the goal that we conceded from a poor defensive setup in set play, another set play conceded, and we need to fix that. That needs to be fixed. We had three players unmarked on the far posts, and it was a free goal for them. It was basically unmarked area by no one. We did man to man marking, but we forgot to mark that zone. So those are the things that we need to fix ahead of the Arsenal game. We know that Arsenal played a lot of set pieces last year, and they were successful with them. Um, and we need to fix that. So once we conceded that goal, it jolted us. It jolted us. Sorry, it jolted us and made us wake up. We started playing quite fast. Moving the ball quite fast, finding passes, switching play, players getting into good positions, and it was quite impressive to see us dominating play. Yeah. Casemiro did put in a good performance in midfield. And one thing I noticed in that game about Bruno is that he can play as one of the eights or one of the sixes. When he plays with someone who can be able to cover the defensive areas, he is key in that position. Mason Mount, to me, Mason Mount was the man of the match. The sort of performance he put in, he was pressing, he was fighting for the ball, he was making runs. The only thing he did not do is making runs behind the defenders, opening up channels. And he's not a center forward. That's a center forward's job. There are instances in the game where Bruno had the ball, Cunha or Mbumo, and they were looking for runs behind the behind the defenders, in the channels behind the defenders. So a center forward comes in, and easily they will get that chance on goal. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But either way, Mason Mount put in a good performance, and he did show that he has a place in the team. We can't play with a false nine, although it was not successful. But he put in a good performance, as well as Ahmad. Ahmad today did not quite reach the levels we are used to seeing him at United playing at right back, but still he played well. Dogu was quite erratic. In my opinion, Dogu did not have a good game. We know Dogu can be quite aggressive. He puts in good crosses. It's unfortunate that the referee blew the whistle when he was on goal. Any other day, that's a red or and a foul and a red card. If not foul and a yellow card. But today the referee, I think he wanted to make the show all about him. He wanted to get the attention. So thanks guys who are joining. Richie Master, thanks for joining. Collins, JWD, the Duke. In case you have any comment, any question, any query, anything you want to say, post it in the comment section, and we will be able to read all the comments. I love appreciating the viewers, hearing what you have to say. Very soon, we'll be setting up a fan view in terms of as guys who are watching as fans, you'll be able to get a chance to join into the stream, to join into the call, and give your views. So moving on is one thing I loved about that play and overall preseason. We can see the build up towards how United will play. We started seeing patterns. You could see patterns on the right side, you could see patterns on the left side, you could see patterns in terms of how to unlock the low defensive block. United, most of the time when they are meeting teams usually employ a low defensive block. Fiorentina are an Italian side. Italians are very tactical in terms of their defense. They were defending five at the back, and they were having four in front of the five at the back. And that low block, United were doing quite well to unlock that defense. Unfortunately, we did not have guys who are running between the channels behind the defense to get those chances. There was an instance where I can't remember whether it's Bruno or Cunha. No, Mbumo actually. I remember it's Mbumo who tried to play a through pass to Mount, but Cunha tried to get the ball. It was more or less like a block, and Mount didn't get the ball. So we are starting to see patterns of play. We can see how the midfield is working with the defense. I liked second half. Second half was much better than the first, especially when Kobe came in. Kobe was always available. He was dropping deep to get the ball. He was connecting well with the defense in the midfield. He was playing quite simple football, and it was working well. When Ugarte came in, that rhythm dropped a bit, but we picked it up. Um, Bayandia had a good game in terms of the penalties. He saved one. In terms of the corner, as I mentioned, our goalkeepers, that is Onana and Bayandia, have a habit of looking at the ball when it's going into the goal. At least make an effort to try and save it. Don't give up before you see it go in. They have a habit of like looking at the ball when it's going in. Nah, they need to fix that. I'm sure those saves that De Gea made, at least one would have gone in if it was Onana or Beandi. And it's I don't want it to be like I'm being negative on them or anything. It's just based on how they play. You wouldn't expect to see such reflexes from Onana, from Bayandia. Yeah, at times they do put in such performances, but most of the time they just look at the ball. If you watch the game, you can't remember there's a time the ball hit the crossbar and Bayandia was just looking at it. He was just looking at the ball, hits the crossbar, then he reacts. All that time he's just stood still, ready to pounce, but the ball is already past him. There are talks about Donnarumma. We'll go into that in the next section of the live. But now let's focus on our midfield. we need to buy a midfielder. That game showed us that we need to buy a midfielder. Baleba is there. There are reports, multiple reports saying that United are interested. They've already sent intermediaries to talk to the agents of the player. They've already sounded out Brighton about a possible move. Today, before the game, there were reports that Brighton will be interested in some of the players from United side. Probably they are looking at the likes of Kone, Sekou Kone. Sekou Kone is a young player. And Brighton love such kind of players, love such kind of talent that's yet to be seen by the world, and they make them grow. No one knew about Caicedo, no one knew about Baleba, and now they are 100 million plus players. So Sekou Kone could go there. I wouldn't be comfortable selling him or doing a swap. Probably try to have a loan offer come from Brighton as part of the deal to have Baleba. United have also sounded out Adam Wharton as a backup in case we don't get Baleba. But that game showed that we need a midfielder. Since we are going to play Bruno, we need a dynamic, combative midfielder. If Baleba comes in, we'll figure out how we'll handle the likes of Kobe, Ugarte. Casemiro, we already know he's leaving. This is his last year. He's leaving. But it's good to have such options. We could play Baleba and Kobe. Remember, we have AFCON coming up, and the players will be going to AFCON might miss 6 games. You look at Mbumo, Ahmad, Mazraoui, they'll miss around 6 games, 4 to 6 games, or 6 to 8 games, depending on how further ahead they go to the competition. So if Mbumo goes to AFCON, it means that we will play Bruno as a 10, and then now midfield options are there. Kobe could come in. If we get Baleba, you can play Kobe Baleba, or you can play Baliba and Ugarte, or Baliba and Casemiro. So back to the point that Brighton are interested in some of United's players. There was an off rumor, although it was not concrete, that they're also interested in players like Anthony. I'm not sure whether Anthony will accept to go there. They're also interested in Toby Collier. I don't know whether United will sell him because Toby Collier is one for the future. To me, Toby Collier is more like Tom Cleverley. I keep saying that he's a player you don't sell, you keep around, and in some games he'll come in to rest other players. Let's say in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup, in some Premier League games, he might come in, get a performance, and all that. So there are still exits that are expected, other than the ones that we know, the bomb squad. There are exits that are expected. In the preview, I didn't mention that I was hoping to see an unveiling of Sheshko at Old Trafford. The club made an announcement before. And sorry, the club made an announcement before that the player has joined United. And I was expecting, based on the preview, I was expecting or hoping that at least we will get 10 matches. Seshko did play the 2 preseason friendly games with Leipzig. The first 2 preseason games he played, he didn't play the last one because, of course, he was subject to a transfer either to Newcastle or to United. So he didn't get to play. Leipzig have a very rigorous preseason regime. So we can't compare Sheshko to the likes of Cunha or even Mbumo. Mbumo came in a bit late. Sheshko is further ahead in terms of preseason preparation, and I'm not sure whether he will play against Arsenal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some match time or game time against Arsenal because he has done his preseason. When the transfer debate or transfer subject came into play, Leipzig allowed him to train behind closed doors with his physios, but he has had preseason. Will he be registered before the Arsenal game? Of course, he will. With the Brexit rules, things are different, but he will be registered before the game. In terms of playing, we are yet to see. It was quite interesting not seeing Hoyland play in that game. He was on the bench. There was a point during the game he started warming up, but we didn't see him come in. He's subject to a loan transfer to AC Milan. AC Milan are interested. They are willing to pay 3.5 million pounds a loan fee, which is a very high fee to them. And then they want, or basically United are saying, you'll have to get an option to buy at 35 million. Milan are willing to do the deal. The player is not willing. We know that um, Milan want the player. Hoyland doesn't want to go. Hoyland wants to stay and fight for his position. He's looking at the players who've come in, and I'm sure he's thinking that with these creative players, we will be able to he will be able to get chances. One of the weaknesses we had at United previously under Ten Hag and when Amorim came in is we were not creating enough chances for the forwards. We saw in the Bournemouth game how Hoyland played. He played well. In fact, he played well while he was on the pitch than when he was not on the pitch. I would keep him for one more season. I will loan out Chido. So I'll have the options of Zaxi, uh, Hoyland, and Sesko. Sesko, definitely he's going to start. The way we saw Amorim play that game is it will be the closest squad we will see, or the closest starting 11 we will see against Arsenal. We will see Euro and Heaven. Heaven got injured, so we don't know how serious that injury is. In case he is not available, I'm seeing Euro going on that side and probably having someone else coming on this side. Um, we'll see Ahmad, we'll see Dogu, we'll see Bruno. Not sure whether Casemiro is the one to start or it's Ugarte. Um, Cunha will be there. Mbumo, not sure. To me, in that game, he didn't look quite fit. In the forward lines, that's now where the question is, because if he started with a false nine in terms of Mount, then we'll have to wait and see. During his post-match press conference, he said that the players have 7 days to prove to prove to him that they need to get a place in the starting 11 against Arsenal. Arsenal are playing right now. I haven't checked the results, um, but Arsenal, we know they've reinforced, and we expect to have a good match against them. Fiorentina was a good test, much different from the three Premier League clubs we played against in the US. And they showed us that there are things that we need to fix. There are things that we need to improve on. For example, playing faster, not holding on to the ball longer, as well as positioning ourselves well defensively during um, set pieces. Bringing back the graphic about Sheshko, it's exciting. It's exciting to see him. We saw a part of the video. If you guys watched the MUTV preview of the game, uh, or yesterday's videos about Carrington, you'll have noticed that Diego Leon was given the number 35 shirt. So does it mean that Sheshko will be given the number 30 shirt? We didn't see the shirt number when he was being unveiled at Old Trafford. A lot of fans said they want him to get number 14. Probably he'll get the number 30 shirt. We know that also 20 was freed up. Dalot is no longer wearing the number 20. Will it be given to Baleba? Who knows? Let's wait and see. He's a good signing. He was really excited out there. I wish I could show the video on here, but because of copyright issues, I can't. And I want just to get to his quotes about him joining United. And this is what he said. Where is it? Oh, I must. Yeah. So he said, the history of Manchester United is obviously very special, but what really excites me is the future. When we discussed the project, it was clear that everything is in place for the team to continue to grow and compete for the biggest trophies again. I cannot wait to start learning from Ruben Amorim and connecting with my teammates to achieve the success that we all know we are capable of together. So he's a player who wanted United. He rejected Newcastle and he chose United. Yeah, we know that the agents waived their fee. Um, the player himself decided not to take a big salary. He decided to reduce his demands so that he can be able to join United and help United make a deal with Leipzig. So he's a player who we are excited to see. I I know all of us want him to play. Rival fans have started saying 001. Why are you saying 001 and he hasn't played the game? Why? Why do you say that? You started hating and the player hasn't even won the shirt, hasn't started playing. So let's see how it goes. The battle of the strikers. Victor Keres was wanted by United. Um, Arsenal wanted Sheshko. They swapped places. So let's see how it goes. So these are exciting times. It's been a crazy week for United fans, and yeah, we are happy to see him uh, in United colors. So Manchester United won the trophy, as you can see that nice photo there. So these are two trophies in preseason, two games, two trophies. I was a bit scared that we will lose in the penalty shootout. That would have been crazy. The banter that will have been online would have been crazy. But it's good to see another trophy. Probably we can use it as a decorative or a decoration at Carrington. We have too many trophies. We have to place them somewhere. There are clubs that wouldn't decorate their training grounds with the amount of trophies they have. Newcastle. So yeah, another trophy. The team looks happy. They look much better. In the morning, I said that the club has changed. The attitude has changed. Even fans, we can feel there is a whole positivity vibe. There are people who are trying to run with the negativity. I saw that some fans were saying that uh, we didn't have much of the ball. We were outplayed. Amorim was outclassed. No, we played a good game. Come on. Why do you want to thrive on negativity? I'm telling you, any person who has built their platform on negativity, they are going to have a difficult time moving forward. They'll need to change their attitude because things are now starting to work. You can't expect Amorim Ineos to fix everything in a couple of months or in a couple of weeks. But as fans, we do feel there is a change. The old United that we saw, or the United we saw last season, if they got that one goal, they consider that one goal, the rest of the game will have been pathetic, to have been rubbish. But look at how we came up. We were calm, believed in the system. No player tried to outdo the other. No player tried to pick up the team. All of them were calm. There are instances here we had chances to counter, but they decided, let's go back to the basics, recycle the ball, let's keep possession, and eventually we got the goal. Fiorentina are playing the dark arts, pushing tackles from the back, and the referee didn't do much about it. But we did play some good games. Even the draw versus Everton, we played well. And I don't think United are going to struggle this season the way we struggled last season. A couple of guys are saying, oh, same old story, blah, blah, blah. Especially when we consider that goal, they were like, here we go again. Things have not changed. Same old United. No, it's not. It's not. Assume we had a forward, even if it was Hoyland who was playing that game, and the amount of chances we had, at least we could have scored some goals. David De Gea kept them in the game. You could have been 3-0, 4-0 up. We know that he's a top keeper. The moment Fiorentina scored that corner, they had nothing else to offer. They didn't get any other shots on target. So stop watching the game via SofaScore or LiveScore, and then coming to Twitter and saying that the game Fiorentina dominated. No. Alfonso Mondi says, I like your analysis. Do you think Gyökeres is better than Sheshko? At this point in time, yes. Victor Gyökeres is better than Sheshko at this point in time. Why? Because Sheshko is a more developed player. He has more experience. Um, he has played in a couple of systems. He has also played in England. He did not succeed in England. He went to Sporting. He played under Amorim, and his levels went up. Gyökeres is a good goal scorer. My only worry about Gyökeres and Arsenal is Victor Gyökeres thrives with transitional football. Victor Gyökeres is not a tap-in player. He's not a player who waits in the box to get the ball and tap in and score. He's poor in heading. If you look at most of his goals, they're usually him dropping deep, getting the ball, running towards goal, and scoring. If you look at Sheshko, he has a mix of all of it, but sometimes his shots are too powerful. Sometimes they go over the bar or they hit the keeper. So he needs to work on that precision. So yeah, Victor Yokeres is better than Sheshko at this point in time. It all depends on now moving forward which coach is going to use their players better. We know that Amorim took Victor Yokeres from the championship and he made him the beast he is right now. He might do the same with Benjamin Sheshko. Victor Yokeres, how will Ateta use him? Because now Arsenal, we know they are a possession-based team. They like playing short passes when they get towards goal. Victor Gyökeres, I haven't seen him have that patience in terms of waiting for those tiki-taka plays and then score. So who knows? Probably Ateta will mold him into that sort of now complete forward. He can head. He can have headed goals. He doesn't score a lot of headers. He can be patient and be around the box for tap-ins and follow throughs. Yeah, if Arsenal decide to change their play and play transitional football where it's more of counter attack and playing fast, then Victor Gyökeres will definitely be deadlier than. And I'm saying this confidently. If Arsenal play transitional football, Victor Gyökeres will outscore Erling Haaland, and you can pin that. Yeah, Sami Bacha, is it Bucha or Bacha? Thanks for joining. Josewa Marines, thanks for joining. I see you always join my live streams. Thanks very much. AIA, are you the Tottenham sponsor? Thanks for joining. Then Alphonse, you go on and say, oh yes, based on experience. But I think with the Amorim system, Sheshko may thrive compared to, I think you mean compared to Gyökeres. Yes, Sheshko will thrive. One thing that United need to change though is how we pass the ball, how fast we hold on, we pass the ball. Sometimes we hold on to the ball too much. If you watch the games, you watch United games, even today's games, sometimes players make the run and then the player on the ball holds it for too long. Or a player makes the run and then the player on the ball decides to pass back or decides not to make a through pass. Those are the things we need to change. You look at United in terms of transitional play, we looked scared, especially in this Fiorentina game. We looked scared. There's a time we had a 3-on-2. We had Dogu, Mount, and Cunha. Dogu decided to turn and pass back. The old United you are used to since the days of Ferguson, when you had Ole, even Jose Mourinho. Once we get through the midfield and it's a 3-on-3, 3-on-4, 3-on-2, 3-on-1, we always bombed forward. I would rather we go forward, we lose the ball, come back and defend. So Sheshko will thrive if we change how fast we are playing the ball. At times, you can see the team is trying to play one touch, two touch football. At times, they are holding on the ball too much. Find a player is doing a step over, waiting for someone to be open, and you are wasting a lot of runs. You go back to last season, you'll see that Hoyland was making a lot of runs in behind the defense, but he was not getting the passes. Sometimes you find Garnacho has the ball, Hoyland is making that run, he does not get the ball. The last game against Everton, you saw Hoyland get mad at Dogu because he's on to the pass. Dogu decides not to pass, either shoot or pass back. So those are the things that Amorim needs to work on. The good thing, we have players that are forward thinkers, that are quick thinkers. Mount is there, Bruno is there, Cunha is there, and Bumo is there. If they can find those Sheshko runs, trust me, Sheshko will grow. He will be a better forward than the way he was at Leipzig. The other thing is Sheshko also likes dropping deep to collect the ball. And the difference between Sheshko and Hoyland is whenever Hoyland gets the ball, his back is towards the opponent's goal and he's mostly looking at fighting the defender. Whenever Sheshko gets the ball or is about to receive the pass, he either touches it to one side, either the left or the right, so that he can be able to turn and run towards goal or look for a pass. So those are some of the differences I've noticed between Hoyland and Sheshko. Sheshko looks at getting away from the defender, getting the ball, getting away from the defender. Hoyland looks at battling with the defender. Many a times you'll find Hoyland gets the ball, he's pushing his back towards the defender. You don't need to do that. Normally, even coaches who do the attacking in any sport, let's say if it's personally, I've played field hockey before, I've coached there before, I've done a bit of soccer training. They will tell you that if you're receiving a pass as a forward, you go towards the ball so that you can get that half a yard to either turn on the left or turn on the right. So those are the subtle differences between the two forwards. Let's see other comments. Shikomwangi, you've joined. Hey, babe, how are you doing? Then we have Kevo, who's joined, Gobi, Jalilu, who's joined, Del, who's joined, Saint, who's joined. So keep those comments coming. Ask any questions. I'll respond to them. Anyone watching on X, anyone watching on YouTube, yeah, post your comment. Now, the next thing I wanted us to talk about is David De Gea's send off. You can see that nice picture there. We didn't do this for David De Gea. We didn't have a testimonial. I can't remember the last time we had a testimonial at Old Trafford. If I'm correct, the last testimonial we had was for Michael Carrick. I can't remember, but we've stopped doing that. Nowadays, we are not doing testimonials, and it was good. Somehow, the Fiorentina game was a testimonial for David De Gea. He came in during Ferguson's time. He played for the club for 13 years and then he left as a legend. Of course, he didn't perform well the latter stages of his career at Old Trafford, but to me, I was not happy how he was let go, how the club treated him. We know Edward Woodward was a nut, basically. We don't know what he was thinking. He was giving contract to some players that didn't deserve to get contracts, and he didn't give a contract to De Gea, even though he wanted more money. But still he deserved a sending off. He played a good game. Honestly, David De Gea kept Fiorentina in the game, and it was good to see him captaining the game. He was the captain, as well as getting subbed off so that he can get a standing ovation at Old Trafford. I would like to say to the guys who attended the match at Old Trafford, thank you very much for what you did for the hair. When he came out for the warm up, you gave him a standing ovation. When he was getting subbed, you gave him a standing ovation, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see haters. We are not like any other club. United is a special club. It's a family club, and it was good to see over 60,000 guys going to watch the game. There is a feel good factor. I keep saying happy days, new players, new Carrington, new season, more trophies. Amorim now seems to be smiling a bit. He doesn't seem to be happy all the time, but at least now he looks like he's getting close to what he wants. So, yeah, David De Gea, thank you for serving the club. We love you and we wish you all the best at Fiorentina. Continue performing and performing and performing. My notes, what do I not say? Let me look at it. Yeah, now let's go to the transfers. I've addressed everything in terms of the match review. In case you have any comment about the game, posts, and we'll go back. Now let's move on to the transfers. Are you a believer? I am. Nowadays, United fans are going to X, going to Twitter, keep swiping to update the timeline to check whether there are any news about the player. Um, Baliba is a player that Manchester United fans started manifesting 6 months ago. Started saying, we need a Carlos Baleba. We need a Carlos Baleba. Others jumped onto the Adam Wharton bandwagon and said, we need Adam Wharton at the club. Baleba, it seems it might happen. It's a difficult deal to do based on the amount that Brighton want. Is it yesterday or the day before we saw an amount of 104 million pounds as the asking price? We know that Brighton don't sell cheap. They buy cheap, they don't sell cheap. Caicedo went for 115 billion. Joe Pedro was 55 to 60 million. So we can't expect Baleba to go anything less than 90. Uh, Tana, you're saying Ateta is already cooking. What is he cooking? Let me just have a look. Arsenal. Let me see live score before I go on to Baleba. So you want to say that Arsenal will cook United? Let me see. Arsenal 2-0. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. But Arsenal did lose a trophy to their rivals, Tottenham. Anyway, back to Baleba. Baleba is a midfield general, and it's amazing to see him perform that way at his age. I'll do a profile video. I want to start doing videos of players, and I want to do a video about Carlos Baleba. Um, Follow his history, look at his current performances. Is he a good fit for United? And I shall post it on our YouTube channel, United Core Ground. Make sure you also go and check out our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. And we will analyze him. But at the moment, let's discuss about Baleba's transfer. This is a difficult deal. Yes, I'm optimistic. Ross Howard, he was like a goat back then on Twitter about transfers, especially United transfers. And this summer, he has had a good report in terms of he was 2 or 3 steps ahead of any other reporter in terms of United news. It almost seems like he has someone in the United ranks who's giving him information. He reported about Cunha, he reported about Mbumo, about Sheshko when no other person reported about them, and he was quite spot on. So when I looked at his tweets last night and today morning, there is some optimism from United side that the deal can be done. However, sales are needed to make United be in a comfortable position. He went on and said in one of his tweets that United have the money to do the deal, but they acknowledge that it will require a huge amount to persuade Brighton to sell their player. Brighton are willing to sell the player next summer, but we don't know what will happen in 2026. We don't know whether other clubs will come for him. We know that Liverpool want to reinforce their midfield. Who knows? City might see that their current midfielder is injured, and I can't remember the name. He's injured, and they want to replace him. Arsenal as well. They can say we want to go in. Not even the Premier League clubs, other European clubs can come in for him. So United want to push this move now. Brighton are against the move, although there is a crack through the door by the mere fact that they posted or they stated the transfer fee. So to me, I'm thinking if we can go to Brighton with, let's say, around 90 to 95 million pounds, we could persuade them to sell. I mentioned earlier that probably putting in some players to go there either permanently or on loan could sweeten the deal. Baleba himself wants the move. I was telling someone the other day that players, especially African players, are drawn to bigger clubs. when African players hear that a Manchester United and Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool are coming for them, they will push hard for that transfer. Why? Because the big six, mostly Arsenal, United, Chelsea, they have a big following in Africa. And when an African player hears that those clubs are coming for them and they play for a much smaller club, not well known in Africa, they will push for that move. Because we've seen that whenever a player plays for those clubs, even if they don't put in a good performance, they will automatically get a national team call up. They will get a national team call up. It's also prestigious to play for a big club like United, like Chelsea, like Arsenal. That's why you see African players when they get that rumor or that message or that phone call that, hey, we want to buy you. Of course, that's tapping. It's illegal in football. But the moment those rumors start and then they start being concrete, they push hard for them to join those clubs because they are big clubs. They are big clubs. So Baleba will be difficult. Optimism is welcome. It's always good to be optimistic. We've seen Ineos are moving fast. I mentioned in a previous live that Ineos are smart in terms of the transfers. They want to know that the player really and truly wants to join United and no other club, which makes it easier for them to approach their club, make a deal with them, and then sign the player. And then the club that they are buying from, they are negotiating a good payment structure to ensure that the Manchester United have enough funds for other transfers. So let's see how it goes. I'm optimistic. I'm hoping and praying that we get to see news this week because the transfer window is coming to a close pretty fast, and we also need to see some outgoings. Garnacho to Chelsea looks to be happening. The clubs are discussing. Manchester United want around 40 million. They've come down from 60, from 50. Now they want 40. Chelsea are hoping to do the deal at 35. So probably they'll meet halfway and let's say 37.5. So Chelsea can say we'll pay 30 and probably 2.5 million in add-ons. And one thing I'm sure is United will add a sell-on clause. I'm seeing any player that United are selling at the moment, there is a sell-on clause. So Chelsea, I think that's one of the things they'll be told you have to accept a sell-on clause. Otherwise, he's staying. And Garnacho has to move. He's rejected Villa. He's rejected other Premier League clubs. He's rejected clubs from Turkey, from Saudi Arabia, because he wants to stay in the Premier League. And if he doesn't, it being a World Cup year, then he's not going to get a chance with the Argentina squad. So Garnacho also needs to to accept. The other thing is we need a goalkeeper. Donnarumma has been in and around the United news. Yesterday evening, we saw reports that Donnarumma wants to join United. The big question here is why are other clubs not as interested in him? He's a Champions League winner. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's still at a young age for a goalkeeper, 26 years old. It means he hasn't even reached his prime. We know that goalkeepers reach their prime at in their early 30s or even mid 30s or late 20s. That is 27, 28, 29, 30 there. That's their prime. Why are no other clubs interested in him? Well, one of the reasons might be his salary demands. He's already earning round about 208,000 per week at PSG, and he wanted to earn more. PSG said, no, we are not going to give you a new contract. And PSG are selling him on the cheap. They are selling him for 26 million pounds. This is a goalkeeper we should be seeing a lot of clubs lining up to sign him. At the moment, it's Chelsea and United who are only interested. But my question is, why will Chelsea be interested? I think they have 4 keepers or 5 keepers. We have the likes of Petrovic who left because they can't get a chance. Of course, Donnarumma is a better player than what they have, but not seeing clubs coming in for him poses a big question. Why? My first my first reason I could say would be salary demand. Ineos at the moment are not offering anything more than 200k a week. Any player who's come in is between 150 to 200. I think Cunha is at 150, Mbumo I think is at 180, Sheshko we haven't seen what he's being paid, but I don't think it will be above 200k a week. That's why we see Ineos working hard to let go of the likes of Sancho, to let go of Rashford, and they made sure that Barcelona are covering all of his wages, to a point where Rashford had to take a salary cut. Casemiro, don't be surprised if he still goes. The window is still open. Saudi Arabian clubs are still interested in him, so he might go. So Donnarumma, will he accept 200k just to play for United? That's the big question. Let me read some of the comments. Baleba is 50. Do you mean age or price? Abdul Ali, do you mean age or price? Okay, let me assume you are saying a price because we know Baleba is only 21, 22. 50, I don't think so. I don't think in this window, Baleba at 50k, no. If Gittens, Joe Pedro are going for Madueke, they are going for 55 to 60 million. Baleba surely can't be 50, at least 80. At least 80 million. Based on the fees we are seeing around, he should be at least 80. If I was Brighton and I'm selling, I wouldn't accept anything less than 80. And I hope Brighton are not watching this. Of course, they are not. Uh, Alfonso Mondi said it's an easy game, though, no opponents here. Yeah, Athletic Bilbao, they are not easy opponents per se, but what we can say is Arsenal are further ahead in terms of their squad, in terms of their preseason training. They are further ahead, so um, that's why they are performing much better. Yokeres goals, Zubemendi assists. I'm a United fan. Then why are you posting about Arsenal? Come on. Why are you posting about Arsenal? Stop it. Either you're a United fan or not. Hakuna kaa katikati. There's no point of staying in the middle. Choose one. Don't sit on the fence. Dr. Vince, thanks for joining. DJ, thanks for joining. Joseph Obuya, thanks for joining. Engineer Kimutai joined. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. So back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma is one of the best keepers in the world. I would love to have him at the club. I don't know whether the move will happen. I saw some reports during the game this afternoon that United have started talks with the players' agent just to find out the feasibility. As I mentioned, United are first talking to the players to see how the deal could work. And then now they make a bid if the player is willing to join. If not, then they move on. There are talks about San Elements. San Elements from Royal Antwerp is a player that was scouted by United. There were talks that were held back in July about the player. The player is willing to join. The club is willing to do a deal. And it stopped there. My thinking is that the club held talks so that they could find out, in case they have money, in case United have money, they go for him and it's a done deal quickly. We've seen how the Cunha deal was done quickly, and how the Sheshko deal was done quickly. The Boomer one took some time because Brighton kept shifting the goalposts. But if they didn't, then that deal could have been done within a matter of days. The Sheshko deal was agreed, I think, on Thursday or Friday morning. The player boarded the flight, came to United, did his medicals, and now he's a player. So the San Elements deal is one I would like because he's younger, he's cheaper. Um, it's cheaper in terms of the wages and in terms of the overall transfer fee, and he is, in terms of what the profile that Amorim wants, that the club wants, the Ineos wants, is these are young players that will come in at low wages, low fees, and in case we need to sell them, we can sell them at a profit. Donnarumma slightly can fit that profile because he's still 26, but the issue is wages. Yes, we might get him in. Some fans are saying pay him whatever he wants. You can't say that at the same time you expect Ineos to fix the issues you have at the club. How many times have we seen players using United as a retirement stepping stone? Come to United, get big bucks, don't care about performance, move on. So for me, I would go for Donnarumma if he accepts to take less than 200k. If he takes, let's say, even the 200k flat, then I'll have him. But if he asks for anything more, no, sorry, we can't have you. Sanelamens is good. Amorim wants Donnarumma, he wants Sanelamens. And one thing I love about the club at this time is they are not making signings for the coach. They are making signings for the club. That's why you see recently Amorim is not taking photos with the new signings. It's Jason Wilcox. Wilcox is the one who's taking photos with the new signings because the club wants to say this is not a coach's signing, it's a club signing. You look at the players we've signed, if it doesn't work out with Amorim, he goes, we let him go. Another coach comes in, he'll say, yeah, I can work with these players. He can work with Cunha, he can work with Mbumo, he can work with Eden Heaven, he can work with Dogu, he can work with Sheshko. If we get Donnarumma or Sanelamens, he can say, yes, I can work with this. You saw the issues that Ten Hag left us with. He left us with massive issues. Brought in players that he liked. Brought in Anthony. Brought in Onana. Players that he liked. But they didn't work out. It didn't work out. So I like this change. We are buying players for the club, not for the manager, not for the coach. So if Donnarumma is coming, if Sanelame is coming, let's trust Ineos to make the right decision. But if Donnarumma asks for more wages, I don't see that move happening whatsoever. Honestly, I'm not seeing. So Coquetzo says, I just joined now. How are you doing, my brother? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you doing? How has your day been? Are you excited about what's happening to United and all the news that has been over the last week? Alphonse says, I think we are getting it right this time round in our transfers. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I'm planning to do a video about the shift in strategy from the Glazers and Woodward mess to what Ineos are currently doing. How do you compare Donnarumma to Martinez? There's no need to compare. Donnarumma anytime, any day. Anytime, any day. Donnarumma, he's a shot stopper. He's a good shot stopper. He's not good with his feet. Donnarumma, you can say he's more like the hair. He's tall. He's massive. He's a leader. Donnarumma played, I think, when he was 16. He has a lot of experience and he's still 26. He has a lot of experience. Martinez is Onana 2.0. Martinez will give you a good game, let's say for 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, and then messes up. You remember what Onana did during the Champions League under Ten Hag? Puts in a good performance for like 10, 15 minutes and then messes everything. Shot comes in, spills it. Pass to the attacker, goal. Goes down, the attacker chips. So Donnarumma is way better. In terms of also the age profile, Martinez is older. In case it doesn't work out, no resale value. Donnarumma, even if we do decide we decide to give him the limit 200k a week and we buy him at 26, we could sell him at 30, 40, 50 million if he comes in and performs. So to me, I wouldn't compare both. Nah. Martinez is way down compared to Donnarumma. Uh-huh. I'm happy with the signing. Yeah, we all are. In case anyone is not happy, then you're a Newcastle fan. Newcastle fans are having it rough. I remember back then when United used to get rejected by players left, right, and center. That feeling is bad. I'm not envying Newcastle. They are forcing Isak to stay. Let's discuss that a bit. They are forcing Isak to stay, and they expect other players to come in. What happens to those players when they see that and they want to move away? So it's not a good picture for Newcastle, to be honest. It's not a good picture. Just let the player go. Of course, they might be feeling bad because he's going to reinforce a rival. But Newcastle are not like Liverpool, are not like City, are not like Arsenal, United, to some extent Tottenham. Players will come in, develop. When they become successful, they move. If Newcastle want to get to the point where the big clubs are, they need to build slowly by slowly. They need to have a plan. Newcastle don't have a director of football, a CEO. They don't have. They haven't replaced them. So they need to first fix the issues at the club, and then they need to accept that they're in a position where if a player comes, performs, he moves away. Yes, they have the Saudi money. They don't need to sell Isaac to buy, but it that 115 that they were offered and rejected will have gone a long way to help them build a better club, build a better squad. So if I was Newcastle, I would focus on building a good culture, building a good name for the club, just like what Ferguson did. And Eddie Howe can do it. Given the right tools, Eddie Howe is one of the top coaches that is underrated. He can do it. We saw him do it. With the squad he had, he made the players better. So all you just need to do is, if Isak wants to leave, let him leave. Top clubs have done it. We let Ronaldo go. Although Ferguson had that discussion with him and asked him to stay for one season, he accepted. Then we let him go. So what Newcastle should have done, in my opinion, or what they should do, just let Isak go. Because also it's creating a bad rapport with potential candidates, potential players that can come to play for the club. They can get a player who comes in, plays 2, 3, 4 seasons. Real Madrid want him, then they say no. So the other players will say, I don't want to go. And I think that's the reason why you look at the players that have rejected Newcastle. They are looking at that. Probably they are saying, if this club is refusing for a player to move away, then there is no point of me going there. Let's take, for example, Joao Pedro. If he performs at Chelsea and then let's say Real Madrid come and are willing to pay 150 for him, then Chelsea will tell him, okay, fine, thanks for performing. You go. Chelsea take the 150 and buy 15 players. So Newcastle need to have a look at their structure. They need to build. They are not yet there. They are not yet a big club. Winning one trophy in like 70 years does not make them a big club. We have to hand it to them. It was a momentous occasion, winning the trophy after that long, but still, they are not among the top clubs. Even if you take an example of Leicester, they won the Premier League, but they are still unable to make major signings because they were not a top club. Eventually, they got relegated. So Newcastle need to pay their cards pretty well because they might now lose out on top targets, top talents that will refuse to join the club because of what's happening to Isak. So let Isak go. Even if he wants to join Liverpool, it's not a guarantee that he will succeed there. Remember, they have Ekitike there. And I mentioned in one of my TikTok videos that not every signing is a guaranteed success. He might go there, flops, but you have the money in the bag and you've made good signings. There are good players out there who can come into Newcastle and make the club great. If Newcastle play consistently well, let's say they finish top four for like 5, 6 years. In within those 6 years, they win a trophy here and there. They win, let's say, the FA and Carabao. In one, they do the double. Let's say one season they win the Premier League, and they're still consistently performing at the top level. Then they can start rivaling big clubs where they tell a player, "Hey, look, we've been number 3, number 4, number 2. We've won. for the last couple of years. We want you to come in and help us win the Premier League. Then top players will come. Unless that happens, no, I don't know. I don't think Newcastle will be attracting top players. Let me see whether there are other comments. Deno joined, Domi joined, Willie, thanks for joining, Kimani, Jofam, Stano, Pico, Swaz, thanks all guys. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for joining. The last thing I want to mention is about what happens after we get a midfielder and a goalkeeper. Once we get those two targets, the club will now start looking at other areas. One of the positions that I've seen on online reports while doing my research is the club wants to get a right wing back and a center back. We know that Maguire will be leaving soon. Luke Shaw will be let go as well. I don't see Luke Shaw staying longer at United. And we know in the right wing back positions, we don't have good options there. Other than Dalot, other than Ahmad, we don't have any other good options that can play in that position. And Amorim's system can change. When Diogo Dalot came in during the Fiorentina game, he was playing as a right back, not a right wing back. So those are the two positions that the club will prioritize. I'm not seeing them happening this window. And personally, I wouldn't want it to happen this window. Why? Because getting many new players coming in right now, it disrupts the team chemistry. And you also have to consider that players who come in later in the window usually take longer to settle into the team. So United, I'm sure they are going to push for Champions League football next year. If not Champions League, European football, either Europa or Conference League. And then they will go to the next stage of the rebuild where we will see midfielders, more midfielders coming in, defenders coming in, and all that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention before we leave. Let me see. Oh, One Love, you dropped a gift. Thank you. Oh, who is it? Sorry, I think let me just maximize this. Alex, you sent a gift. Thank you. Thank you very much for sending me that gift. Uh yeah, thanks everyone who sent me a gift. I don't know why I can't see the names. It's like scrolling. I want to appreciate you. Let me see what I can do. Let me pop it out. Let me pop out the chat. Uh-huh. Why can't I see the chat? System malfunction. System malfunction. Well, I can't see the chat. I don't know what has happened. It has actually even closed. Oh, now I can't see it. Sorry, it went to the other screen. Yeah, we have 413 likes on the video. We have 187 people who are watching, and then we have one new follower. So, what I want us to do before we end the live, go to the profile, click on the link in the description, go over there, hit subscribe, hit like, and we shall get the community growing. Let me see how many subscribers we have on YouTube. Yeah, we have 42 subscribers on YouTube. Make sure you go there, you become a subscriber. Whenever we are posting profile videos, let's say we are analyzing Baleba, which I'll do soon, you get to get an exclusive about it. So, unless there are any other comments or questions, I think we can end the live. Thank you very much for keeping with me, being live, liking, sharing, asking your questions. Let me go through the comments and appreciate the guys who've posted their comments. We have Tana. Thank you for commenting. We have Alphonse as well, always on the lives. Thanks very much. I think, Alphonse, you should be among the first fans who get into the live call show. I want fans to call into the show and we hear their voice, they comment about their game or something. Abdul Ali, as always, you're always there in the show. Who else? Who else? Who else? Koketso, thank you, brother, for joining and commenting as well. And yeah, thank you very much. Until next time, see ya and have a lovely evening. Keep safe. God bless.